Hello and welcome to our Monday afternoon broadcast. Thank you so much for jumping on with us, whether you're jumping on live or as a rebroadcast viewer. I always appreciate you taking the time to jump in with us. Today we are going to talk about how to stick with your fasting, your feasting, and or maybe a fitness routine you have when you just aren't feeling like it, or maybe you're having a bad day. I'm going to share some of the tips and tricks that I use and share with you kind of a season that I go through just about every month, and why it is we can still go through some hormonal changes on a pretty regular basis, even if we are kind of past the point of going through a monthly cycle. So if you are new, please feel free to take a second to hit that subscribe button on YouTube or that like button on Facebook. Make sure you're set up for notifications. We do go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, both on YouTube and Facebook, and that way you'll also be notified when I upload any additional content. I also like to ask that you please leave a comment in the comment section. That way I know that you are here. At the end of my little presentation of information, I always open up the floor to you and I having a conversation where I will answer your questions and invite you to come into the process as well through the comments that you leave for me. So I always welcome you to do that as well. So how do you get into fasting, feasting, or fitness? Or how do you stick with fasting, feasting, or fitness when you are just not feeling like it or you're having a bad day? So I want to start off with a little bit of what I know I am experiencing and a lot of other women are experiencing in this aging process, and that is just that hormonal turmoil that we go through that we can't really identify the cause of or explain. And I had to really go through a process of calendaring out when these feelings started happening to me until I really realized that there was a routine to them. So I am very open about everything that's going on with my life and the season of life that I'm in. And have been in postmenopausal, season, I guess would be the word to describe that, for almost 2 years now. I'm 52 years old. I'll be 53 this May. But I still have a very consistent cycle that I go through hormonally. And I have about 3 or 4 days in a month where I feel like I am PMSing. And I now call it postmenstrual syndrome, where my hormones feel out of balance and I feel like I did when I was PMSing, premenstrual syndrome, when I was still going through normal cycles as a woman who has not gone through menopause. And so it's a very real feeling. The signs and signals are pretty consistent with what regular PMS is. And I think as women, when we go in through the perimenopausal state, the menopausal state, and then we get into postmenopause, we think, oh, it's over. We don't have to go through those things anymore. And from my experience and from several women that I've talked to, that is not so much the case, especially if you have not had a hysterectomy and you still have hormones that are being produced in your body. And so when I have that feeling, I literally can change the way I am feeling about myself, the way I feel about my exercise, and how I feel about my body in general, from like one go to sleep and one wake up, and it literally happens that fast. I can go to bed at night feeling fantastic, wake up the next morning and feel like, oh my gosh, what truck hit me in the middle of the night when I was sleeping? And when this happens, what I have done to offset it or make sure that it doesn't last too long, or that I don't end up creating some permanent situation that I can't get out of when I'm feeling this way, is I have a system that I follow when I'm in this what I call PMS season. It does happen very regularly, like to almost the day every month for me. So now I can kind of head it off, or I can stop it in its tracks pretty quickly. And my amazing husband also knows exactly what the signs and the signals are, and he reminds me as well, like, hey, this is your time. This is a couple of days you just don't feel your best. So some things that I do to make sure that I keep my head in the game for the long-term lifestyle that I'm creating and the long-term benefits that I want to get from that is I have this system that I go through. And the first thing that I want to share with you that I do is I always keep the end in mind. And what I mean by that is when I'm feeling beat up, or I'm feeling bloated, or I'm feeling just sad, or whatever it is that I happen to be feeling, I always think about how I want to feel when these temporary feelings are over. So how do I want to come out of this situation? And so what I really try to do is think about all the things that I do when everything's on track. And this is exactly why, especially in my intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course, I ask you to journal your progress and your journey through this change of lifestyle, so that when life happens, or you have a bad week, or you're not feeling your best, you have some history to go through, or a plan of attack that you can go back to, which will tell you exactly what you did when you were feeling your best. That's exactly what I do. So I hunker down, and without stressing myself out, I force myself to stick to my plan. And what I mean is that I still exercise. I just don't do it at the same intensity or with the same expectations that I would have for my body when I'm feeling 100%. So I shared yesterday on my Facebook page and my Instagram that yesterday was the worst day. Like, I woke up, I felt beat up. I had that sort of PMS-y feeling that I described just a few minutes ago. And it took everything in me to get up to my gym and actually get my workout in. And what I felt during my workout initially was just this like, I just don't want to do this. I just want to get it over with. And what I realized I was doing is I was setting my expectations up for my 100% day, and I wasn't there. So I lowered my expectations a little bit. Instead of running on my treadmill, I walked on my treadmill at an incline, because my goal was to get a sweat going and change the hormones that were being processed in my body. And I know from my experience with exercise that all I have to do is get my heart rate up for a certain amount of time, get a little sweat on, and I can start to change the way I'm feeling and change the chemical makeup of my hormones in my body. So we know, and if you're a runner, you know that endorphins are this magical thing that happen to us runners or people who work out and get that sort of high feeling from what a workout can do for you. So that is what I shoot for when I'm not feeling 100%. I shoot for that endorphin high, or that change of hormones in my body that does happen when you're in a workout situation. So we have our endorphins, we have our serotonin, we have our dopamine. We have those hormones that are the hormones that make us feel good, that maybe they're not at the highest level when you have that I just got hit by a truck feeling, but you can create them in your body by the decisions that you make, the things that you're thinking, the way you're feeding yourself, and by putting yourself into a workout situation. So that's exactly what I did yesterday. By the end of my workout, I do have to admit I felt a little bit better. I still felt off yesterday, but this morning I woke up in a completely different state of mind and a completely different feeling physically. Michael and I woke up early this morning. We got our workout in first thing. I got an amazing workout in. I was able to run on the treadmill, and all those feelings I had yesterday were gone. Had I not proactively attacked the bad feelings, I promise you today I would not have woken up feeling as good as I did, because I have experienced that before. When I've sunken into the negative feelings, or I've sunken into the bad hormones that were taking over my body and my mind for that day, and I've just ended up prolonging my agony. So I highly recommend, if you have one of those days you're feeling off hormonally, put yourself into a workout situation, whether it's a brisk walk outside where you can get some fresh air, maybe feel the sun on your face, or you get yourself on a treadmill, or maybe you go take a group exercise class where maybe you can even be around some other people that might help you change your mood. But break a sweat, get your heart rate elevated, and see if you can create some new happy hormones that will flow through your system that will take over the negative ones. Another thing that I make sure I do when I'm feeling off and I don't want to eat well or practice my fasting techniques that I have created for myself is I force myself to go to what I know makes me feel my best. So I don't defer to numbing type of foods to escape the reality of how I'm feeling in that day. And I go back to my journaling and I go back to what I know works for me, and I force feed myself that. So last night for dinner, our sweet little Gabby made her homemade chicken nuggets. We make gluten-free chicken nuggets at home. I had a huge serving of my baked kale, and then we had some sweet potato fries. For me, that is just a normal, everyday type of feast. It's not a feast that I would consume back in the olden days when I was trying to numb the surface level feelings that I had, and I wanted to sabotage myself because my mind and my emotions were feeling damaged or sad. So I force fed myself a very nutrient dense meal, and something that I would have any other day when I was feeling my absolute best, or my mind and my emotions were on me living my life out authentically in the healthy way that I've created for myself. In the past, I would have sunken myself into probably some cookies or a bag of nasty chips, or would have eaten something that would have, for the moment, numbed the way I felt, but would have taken me away from what my goal is with the end in mind, meaning that I always want to look and feel my best and live my most authentic life. So I always repeat that phrase in my head when I get through one of these days that I'm just feeling down, or I'm feeling beat up, or I'm feeling emotionally and hormonally off. What should I do to ensure that I'm going to look and feel my best and live my most authentic life 3 days from now? Not in the moment, but 3 days from now when this all changes. How do I want to come out of this? And that helps me make the decisions that's going to ensure that 3 days when I come out of this, I'm going to not have any regrets or have anything that I have to make up for that was because of some bad decisions that I made. So you want to make sure you get yourself a workout in, break a little sweat, elevate your heart rate, and then you want to make sure that you're feasting on the things that will make you look and feel your best and live your most authentic life in a couple days. We know that when we have a binge type of feast, or we feast on things, or we make exceptions or justify things that we want to eat in an emotional unrest, what happens 2 or 3 days later is we feel even worse. And then we start to self-sabotage ourselves in our own mind, or we start to look at our body and we think negative things, which then creates negative self-talk about our body. And we beat ourselves up, and what ends up happening is we create this snowball effect of negativity that takes forever for us to get out of. And for some of us, myself included, could take most of our life to change those habits. So you want to make sure that even when you're not feeling your best, you're creating habits that will get you to what it is you ultimately want for the forever part of your life. And then you want to make sure that you just give yourself a break. Make sure that you are not expecting more from yourself than you can give. And I did that yesterday morning when I did my workout. I was like, there's no possible way I'm going to do the run that I thought I was going to be able to do the night before. And I just modified things to make sure that I at least got done what were my minimal requirements for making sure that I stick to my plan. I also made sure that yesterday was a very light day around the house. I sat out in the sun for about 20 minutes, got some nice vitamin D, got some fresh air, didn't have any major expectations from myself as far as anything else that went on yesterday. And I really allowed my mind and my body and all of my emotions and hormones to really just take a reset day, and was able to just, progress as normal today. Another thing that I really like to do and like to encourage other women to research as well for themselves is I really do amp up my supplements on the days where I'm feeling off. So I made sure that I took all of my supplements yesterday, especially the ones that are my feel-good supplements. I have some things that I have in my little cabinet that I do defer to when I'm feeling down or emotionally off, and I made sure that I got those in yesterday to really raise up some of the vitamins and minerals that I might have just been deficient on yesterday as well. So I really like to defer to what I use is my pre-workout, which has tons of vitamin B's in it. And then I also do take an extra vitamin B on that day as well, and make sure I have my break fast shake and drink plenty of mineralized water as well, making sure that everything that my body requires to have a happy and healthy day is up to the levels that it needs to be to actually make that happen. So don't be afraid to up some supplements or some really healthy things that you add into your life on the days when you're feeling off, just to kind of give yourself a boost into the next day as well. And then surround yourself with the people that you love. Surround yourself with some really positive things. Pick up a really good self-help book, maybe listen to a podcast or maybe an audio book that you have. I have lots of audiobooks that I can just turn on in a split second that just listening to within a few minutes can really change my mindset from a negative or kind of self-sabotaging or pouty one to a really motivated, energized, and optimistic mindset. And I use other people to make that happen for me when I cannot do that for myself. And you guys, that is totally okay to do. If you can't pull it out of yourself, defer to your mentors from afar. Use them and use those resources that you have available to you to force feed positive self-talk into your own brain until you can get your brain to do it on its own. And I am a huge fan of that. You just put it everywhere. Put it on your I can play my audiobooks from my Alexa. I can put it in my car. I can listen to it on my phone. I drowned myself in someone else's positive voice and positive words to get myself back on the track that I know I need to be on to get through my day and to make sure that the end in mind is always available to me. And I want to make sure that the goals that I've set up for myself will be achievable and they're not going to be destroyed in a 1 or 2 day situation where my hormones just might be feeling a little bit off. So I hope this provides some resources for you to utilize. You have my full permission to copycat everything that I just shared with you. It works. Definitely feel free to tweak it to work for you if you need to, but know this. Not every single day is going to be a perfect day for you, even if you're doing things perfectly. Your body is a constantly changing and adjusting machine. Chemistry in your body is always trying to reach some level of balance, and sometimes that means it's going to go out of balance to get itself there. You have to give yourself some patience, some love, and some grace when you are feeling that, because it's going to hit you when you least expect it. And if you don't have a plan in place and you're not okay up here, you haven't done the work to heal what's going on with your own personal emotions, and you go back to old habits that you used to depend on that never really worked for you before, and you start numbing away some of those feelings and you don't head them off in their tracks, they will constantly ease up and surface when you least expect them. And when you don't have a plan, I promise you, those old habits and those old ways and those little numbing tricks that we used to work will take over, because that's what your mind will be used to doing, and those will be the habits that you have in place. So create new habits and create a new mind map, and I promise you, you'll be able to get out of a bad or an unbalanced hormonal situation pretty quickly. So again, I hope this helps for anyone who has been struggling with trying to feel perfect every day. You can't. I do things pretty well these days. I mean, we have a really nice schedule. We have a lot of things that we don't let come into our life anymore because they don't make us feel well. And I credit a lot of the consistency for the way I'm handling things and the way I can come out of a situation, and how short-lived a bad day will last in my own personal life now, because of boundaries that we've set up, and because of the habits and the routines that I've put in place, and because of the work that I have done on my own emotional past wounds and scars, and how I've really let go a lot of them and created new ways for me to deal with something that doesn't feel fantastic. So it's not your fault if you have a bad day. It happens. Just have a plan to get yourself out. So let me welcome everyone who joined us on Facebook today. Jody's here, Amy's here, Diane, welcome. Brenda, Teresa, watching from home in Flower Mound. Teresa, I'm surprised that we haven't run into each other yet. You have to make sure that if you ever see me around town that you please stop me and say hello. Amy, I'm watching from Oregon. Lori, November fasting group, thanks for your continuing education. Oh, Lori, thanks so much for being here with us today. Ginger from the September course. Tracy, hello. Sandy from sunny Florida. Okay, we're jealous that you're in sunny Florida. It is freezing here today. We have been like literally shivering all day.
Well,
it's 64, but our house is cold, so we've been shivering all day. Brenda, that was me yesterday, and I had a 12-hour shift. Well, Brenda, what did you do to get through your off day? Bernie, from Ireland, hello, girlfriend. Can't wait to learn from your course starting Saturday the 2nd. Yay, I'm so excited for you. I love having my ladies from Ireland in the course with us. Shelly, hello. Meg, great timely topic. Been forcing myself to get out of bed to run or exercise lately, but I just keep getting up and know that eventually that feeling will pass. Yeah, you know, there's something amazing about a workout, especially when you think about doing it for how you want to feel at the end. That really can be self-motivating when you're not feeling your best. And that's really what I had to do yesterday. I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna walk as hard as I can and just get some sort of change going on in my body. And the other thing that's good about building in a workout when you're not feeling your best and getting to the end of it and just completing it is there's no better feeling there's no better feeling than accomplishment. So if you would have talked yourself out of working out, then you sort of just dug a deeper hole of disappointment or maybe sadness or whatever it is you're feeling. And creating opportunities for you to get a win throughout your day really will help you offset some negative feelings. So congratulations for getting yourself up and working out for sure. Meg, great timely topic. Been forcing myself, already read that one. Let's see, Amanda's here. Ginger, one of the things that I am really trying to learn in all of this is to treat myself with grace. That whole idea of cutting back on exercise and activities when I know I'm not at my best, and then being proud of myself for doing what I've done. I can be my own worst critic, and I'm working hard to change that mindset. Ginger, if you haven't already done so, you should read the book Mindset. It does help a lot. I used to be that person as well, and I used to believe and used to live out that if I didn't run for at least 6 miles, that it was sort of a waste of time to put my running shoes on. And I'm way over that now. Even backed out of a half marathon that I actually signed up for last year because I wasn't feeling it, and just decided to run a half marathon at home, which was a lot easier for me to do. And I felt like the mental shift of not having to physically go somewhere and be at an event and do all the hoopla of running in an official race took a lot of pressure off of me. I was still able to run a half marathon at home, so I felt accomplished, but I just changed things up a little bit. So yes, you are correct. We can be our own worst enemies, but what I really try to teach in the F3 course that I have available is that we have to understand the why we're working out. And when we stop working out as a form of punishment and we really think about working out as a reward, or like I did yesterday, as a way to sort of change how our body's feeling, then we approach it with a completely new set of values. And I think that is really key, just changing the paradigm of what exercise is for us. And that really did help me a lot, and it was part of my healing process. So yeah, just give yourself some grace. And sometimes grace just means going out for a walk instead of pounding your body into the ground in a run or some other type of workout when you just aren't feeling it, for sure. And then sometimes just taking a break can be great too, and resting. Jillian, thanks for jumping on with us. Patty, hello, girlfriend. Ginger, one of the things that I so appreciate are the positive statements that are included for us in the IF course. I faithfully read them out every day. Oh, thanks for saying that. So inside of our intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course, one of the lessons we have is daily affirmations or positive affirmations. And we really do have to create habits for that as well, especially if we did not grow up in an environment where positive affirmations were a thing. wasn't an environment that I grew up in. So I really had to learn how to talk to myself in a positive and encouraging voice, because that wasn't something that my mind was used to receiving. And you can usually tell if you're not good with that if you don't receive compliments well. So if you receive a compliment and you try to exit out of it, or you feel really uncomfortable, or you can't just say, thank you so much, I'll receive that. That's really an indication that maybe you're not good at speaking to yourself in that way either. And I think if we can practice some positive affirmations to ourselves on a daily basis, then we're better at receiving those type of things from other people as well. And there, to me, there is nothing more attractive than a woman who can openly and confidently accept a compliment from someone else. And so we should really practice that. And then when we're really good about receiving compliments, then we can also be good about giving genuine compliments to other people as well. And there is such a huge difference between a forced compliment and a genuine from the heart compliment, especially woman to woman. And I know I always appreciate when I give them, or when I get them, and I try to be really good about giving them as well. So it's something we have to practice. It's not something that is just natural to us, especially if we didn't grow up in that environment. So I would say definitely start with just keep practicing that for sure. Sheila, hello. Jill is here. Julie is here. Sheila, 64. It's -10 here. Can't wait to take the mastermind. Sheila, I'm sorry that it's -10 there and it's freezing in 64 here. Mandy, absolutely needed this talk today. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and encouraging words. You're welcome, girlfriend. We can't be everything every day. We get pulled in a lot of different directions, and we never know when our own personal hormones need to take a break, and emotions need to take a break. And so when your body's telling you to take a break, please make sure you can schedule that in and just give yourself some grace to slow down a little bit for sure. And for some people, that might mean adding an extra hard workout in. I don't know. You got to figure that out for yourself as well. Mandy, absolutely. You already said that one. Tina just popped in. Got to check the replay. I need to hear this topic. Oh, Tina, it'll be up on the Facebook page as soon as we're done. So definitely come back for sure. And you can always go back to the YouTube channel as well. See who we got here on YouTube. Dorothy, hello. Lisa, hello. Christina, good to see you today from California. Jocelyn's here. Darlene is here from our February class, recent grad. Bardi from Virginia, June 2018 graduate. Good to see you again, girlfriend. Dorothy, I'm into my second week and down 11 pounds. I had a full hysterectomy 2 years back. I'm 50 years old now. I have to say I'm extremely tired sometimes as well. I'm doing 16-8 daily. I'm Dorothy. I say join our class, girlfriend, and I'm going to teach you how to get to that energized sense of calm and that sweet spot so that you don't feel tired, but you'll actually be able to experience the energized sense of calm with all of us. Kathleen, December grad. Good to have you with us, girlfriend. Roberta from the February course. Angela, February grad. Roberta, I'm not a runner. I have arthritis. So how should I get aerobic activity? Right now, I do hand weights to a CD. Roberta, walking is a fantastic way to get some aerobic activity if you're not bothered by that with your arthritis. Swimming is fantastic. Cycling classes are great. So there's lots of ways that you can get some cardio in that isn't going to be so weight bearing. The one thing I do have to say though about weight bearing type of exercises, especially for us women, is it is really that way that we keep lots of lean muscle on our body and can really help offset osteoporosis. So what we want to do is first tackle that arthritis pain, and a lot of that usually is caused by inflammation. So I would definitely say try to tackle the pain that you have in your joints first, and then see what kind of new opportunities open up for you when you don't feel so much of that arthritic pain in your body. Let's see. And Roberta, have you been in our course? Yeah, you've been in the February course. So you're a new grad. So you've only been doing this for 3 weeks. I would say keep fasting long, keep feasting well, fast clean, get rid of that extra inflammation in your body, and then keep reintroducing new activities to see if you get your body to that point where you're not feeling that joint pain anymore. Swimming, cycling would be 2 things I would highly recommend. Sammy, I'm new to IF, trying 16-8. Should I eat when I feel hungry, pains, or push through? Girlfriend, you got to join our class for that one for sure. Roberta, I can't wait for the nice weather to get here to Massachusetts. I'm so done with winter. Yes, girlfriend, us too. I think we're supposed to have some threats of snow this week. No. I thought that was on the news. No,
That's what they said on the news, but I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, they said on the news that we might get snow, but then there's like 2 days of 70-degree weather, so I don't know. Who knows around here? Kathleen, I'm struggling with wanting to exercise for over a year. I've never loved it, but got to liking it a couple years back. Now, as soon as time gets tight, it's the first thing that gets ditched. That's because, Kathleen, in order to make exercise a priority, you have to prioritize it like other priorities. So exercising for me is what I consider a non-negotiable appointment, meaning I make sure that that is written into my planner in pen, and it has to be something pretty extreme to get in the way of that appointment. So make exercise a non-negotiable appointment with you. Michael and I are going to be talking on Friday about some things that we have done to synchronize our lives and some things we've done with our schedule and some of the things we want for ourselves to make sure that exercise and this healthy lifestyle that we've created is a priority. So catch us on Friday. We'll probably be able to help you with some of that. Jocelyn, so glad you talked about this today. The weekend was challenging for me. Back on track today. Good. Yeah, and I love it when Mondays can be great. So many people dread Mondays, and I actually look forward to it because I really like being on a routine. And like I said, Michael and I were up at 5:45 this morning. I got a great 45-minute cardio and strength training workout in. I ran an extra mile after my course. I did some stretching before and after. I mean, it was just perfect. And sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to get yourself through that bad day and then just kind of set yourself up to make sure you get back into your routine on the good day for sure. Rochelle, I do better after participating in a live chat. Thank you for creating this positive space. Oh, you're welcome, girlfriend, and thanks for jumping on with us. Robin, jumping on, I have to catch a rebroadcast. Well, thanks for saying hello. And then, hi from freezing Chicago. Squeeze in 30 minutes on my lunch or a walk on lunch if not cold. Sometimes I go back to the gym in the evening. May join the F3 course, which is the fitness class, right, Di? Yeah, so the F3 course that I teach, I call it the Fasting, Feasting, and Fitness Trifecta course. We created that to help you change your mindset about fitness. So many of us, women especially, were raised to believe that exercise was the thing that we did to get us out of something else bad that we had already done. And what we really need to think about with fitness is that it is our avenue to aging successfully. And there's so much new research out with how we can do that. And especially what we can do with our minds and our brains and how we can use exercise as a tool to help offset Alzheimer's and dementia, which I know a lot of us in this community are really afraid of, myself included. And so we really have to just think of exercise as a gift and not a punishment. You don't have to exercise. You are blessed with the opportunity to exercise. And just changing the vocabulary that we use and the mindset that we have wrapped around exercise can make it a very joyful event. And then you have to find the activity that you are excited about waking up to every day. And you have to understand the hows and whys to make exercise beneficial to you. When you understand all that stuff, then exercise becomes a completely different event in your day because you're not making up for lost time. You're preserving and guaranteeing your time for the future. And that's how we want to start thinking about exercise. So if you haven't taken the F3 course, I'm going to highly recommend that you do. I think it'll really help you get through some of those sticking points or those mental blocks that we have about exercise being a punishment. It really is a gift. And it's one of those things that will probably regret that opportunity or the right to exercise or the ability to exercise. So value what you have today because you never, nothing's guaranteed. And so take advantage of it if you can for sure. Mandy, absolutely needed this talk today. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and encouraging words. You're welcome. I think I read that one already too. Patty, thank you for this topic today. It is so very true that we can't be perfect every day. Nope, we cannot. Renee, where can I get information on this class? Renee, Michael just posted the link. It's right in the comment section. So just scroll through there. It says, my name's I am Marie Parham, and then it says the F3 course. And if you're looking for the intermittent fasting for today's aging woman course, that link's available as well. And then Angie, I was thinking of you today in Miami and did some workout. My body hurts so much. Okay, I'm glad you were thinking about me in Miami, and it makes me jealous that you're in Miami. That's one of my favorite cities. So happy that you got your workout in, and hopefully your body is feeling the good aches from your workout. Celia, what dose of vitamin B should I be taking? I can't tell anyone what doses of any supplements they should be taking. What I would highly recommend doing is just reading whatever the suggested amount is on whatever vitamin B that you are choosing to take as your own personal supplement. Vitamin B is one of those vitamins. It's water soluble, so your body's just going to excrete it if it has enough of it. So I think when I'm feeling blue, I guess what would be called a mega dose on it, and I'm not afraid of it. It really does, within a 24-hour period, it does help me change my mood. It helps my body get into a better mood. So you want to look for what I recommend is a stress B complex, which has all the range of vitamin Bs, which will definitely help you for sure. Helps your energy and helps your mood and your overall outlook and all that kind of stuff. It's my happy supplement for sure. It's not one that I take every day because I do have it in my pre-workout formula as well. It has vitamin Bs in it. So I get that on the regular, but when I'm feeling off or feeling down or feeling moody, I definitely up with my vitamin B complex on those days for sure. When I start to feel like I'm coming back around, I just back off it. So it's one of those things that you can kind of play with when you really start to get to know your body and feel comfortable with the signs and signals your body is sending you for sure. Anything else here? Non-negotiable appointment. Yeah, Kathleen, that's how you have to look at it. And then think about it in this way. You have to have that like almost come to Jesus meeting with yourself and go, what would happen if someone told me tonight at dinner that you're no longer allowed or able to exercise? How would you feel? Like what emotional response would you have to someone saying, hey, Kathleen, I'm sorry, but as of right now, you are no longer allowed to exercise? How would that make you feel? And you don't want to ever be in that situation. So we have to take advantage of what we're capable of doing today, because tomorrow might be a completely different situation. I fell down Friday night when we were out to dinner. A curb was like, a little offset a little bit. And I stepped right on the offset part and went down on the sidewalk. Now imagine if I would have broken something or dislocated something. I would be so bummed today that I couldn't work out, right? Or would have been so bummed yesterday that I couldn't work out. And if I would have squandered away yesterday's workout or squandered away today's workout, like how sad would that be? Because I was so close to the possibility of being injured. Thankfully, I work out, and thankfully I'm a very healthy, able-bodied woman, so I didn't get hurt when I fell down. And that's my goal through this whole aging process, and why I really have the aspirations to age successfully, because the reality is this homegirl right here has been falling down and falling up things her whole life. Like I fall upstairs all the time. I've wiped out entire families on like staircases at a mall, just missing a step. I fell out of my airplane when I was in the Air Force, missed a step on an airplane rung. Like I just fall down. So I have to make sure that I'm very healthy and that I have very strong bones and that I can brace a fall. Because I could be sitting here in a completely different situation had I not been taking care of my body. And I guarantee you I would have been bummed out yesterday if I would have hurt myself and could not work out. So why would I waste a day of being able to exercise what I can do? I don't want to do that anymore. So I make it a non-negotiable appointment. I make it very consistent in my life. And I also listen to the signs and signals my body is sending you. So make sure you're taking advantage of what you're capable of doing today, because you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. And I did have that happen to me. And I'll finish with this little story right here. What was it, 2 years ago when we got our dog? I think a month after we got our dog, this homegirl right here fell through the attic of our house. I was looking for a suitcase up in our attic, stepped down, missed a step, which I just do, and my foot went through the attic all the way through our master bathroom ceiling, and I knocked out the light in the ceiling. Like my whole foot went through. busted up some toes, hurt my ankle. I was off of running for
About a year.
a year where I wasn't running because of one misstep off of an attic step and through the ceiling of our house. So I was bummed that year. What I decided to do instead of getting depressed about it is I hunkered down on my fasting and my feasting, and I kept my body super healthy, and I didn't have to worry about feasting for fitness. I literally took that year to heal my body. And it was like a great year, and I had a great mindset about it because I knew I had options for healing outside of exercise. As soon as my foot got better, I was right back in. But that was a long year of not being able to exercise. So be careful about how you squander away your exercise opportunities, because you never know what might happen that would take your ability away. So take advantage of the opportunity you have to make a choice about it for sure. Patty, I got a 3-mile walk in today. It definitely helps me to feel better. Plus today's IF was 18.6 and I had plenty of energy. Good for you. I love my sense of calm. I truly enjoyed our intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course. I'm a graduate of the February 2019 course. You are, girlfriend. You need to wear that badge proudly. Not everyone is a graduate. A lot of people register and they don't get to the end point. So congratulations to everyone who registers and completes the course. You just created a new mind map for yourself that you finish what you start. So that's a big deal, and I'm super proud of all of you who did that for sure. With that being said, I am going to jump off. Please remember that not every day is going to be a day that you wake up feeling fantastic, and that's okay. It's what you do about it that matters. Make sure you set yourself up for success, keeping the end in mind always. How do you want to feel when your body settles back down to normal? Do you want to have to make up for lost time? Do you want to have regrets about some decisions that you made? Or do you want to stay on your healthy path, making healthy choices and staying in the conscious moment of what's going on with you? So as soon as your body decides it's going to regulate itself, you'll be back in the game, living the healthy lifestyle, looking and feeling your best, and executing your most authentic life. And that is really what we're trying to do here in this community. Thank you so much for jumping on today. I will be back here on Wednesday with another topic that I'm dying to share with you. And then, like I said, on Friday, if you can, gather your husbands or your significant others around. We are going to be talking about what we have done in our relationship and what we're doing in the lifestyle that we've created to help synchronize our plans and our schedules together to make sure that we are helping not only ourselves but each other be successful as well. So thanks for jumping in. I'll see you guys on Wednesday and for sure on Friday.